G'day, this is just a quick walkthrough on the Northpeak map and some of my thinking behind just how it's been put together. I took note on the of the map that you posted on the forum that there's forest to the west and the southwest, that there's a desert to the southeast, and sort of hilly country to the east and the northeast, and up to the north there you've got the mountains. So I wanted to incorporate those terrain features into the map. So if you look at the sides of the map, you've got kind of a clue as to where this map fits into the world, and the town's sort of in the center of the map. Okay, so this is the southern end of the map. I figured that unless you're a spectre attacking from the forest or an orc attacking from the north, you're going to be coming into Northpeak from the south. So, and we've got Habib here. He's a trader from the desert, so he's looking a bit Arabian there. His wives are hiding around the back. He's got a couple of wives. So there's his wife, there's his other wife. Now the idea with this guy is he's the fella who sells exotic weapons. I've tried to split up the weapon sales in the town so that you've got the dwarves selling all the regular kind of European style weapons. You've got Habib there selling the exotic stuff. So if you're into exotic weapons like kukris or katanas and stuff like that, he sells all the foreign sort of fancy weapons, because he's a trader and a traveller and that sort of thing. But if you're after exotic weapons that are sort of agricultural, my plan was to put in a sort of a agricultural, like farming supplies sales guy who sells that sort of stuff. I never actually got around to it, but that was the idea. So you had three different weapon salesmen who would sell you the different kinds of weapons based on their sort of theme and their flavour. Now here is the open air markets. These were actually my son's idea. He figured that, you know, if it's a frontier town, most of the buildings haven't actually been built yet, so most of the salesmen would be outdoors peddling their wares. So the idea was to make an outdoor market. I never got around to putting in the NPCs to sell stuff, but I figured these guys would just be selling turnips and carrots and stuff, so it's not really something that most adventurers would be all that excited about. There's a guard there. I just used the house guard model to make the town guards, although this guy's the invisible model, so I could put the scabbard on his back. He's an archer, but most of them are just the regular one. I think I've heard that cuts down on lag and server resources and stuff if you use the default models instead of characters that actually have clothes. Now, okay, so this is the town square, I guess. Town square. It's basically where they have their meetings. I figured the leader of the town would sort of stand on here and give you speeches. There's a stone there with the law carved onto it. I just made up some rubbish laws there, but you know, if you have an actual idea of what the laws of the town would be, we could sort of just stick them there. And this over here is what's going to be the temple. But I figured, okay, rather than have established religion in the town and NPCs and stuff like that, I figured that the PCs would be the religious presence in the town, so that rather than have established religion, if a PC is a cleric, they're essentially the cleric of that god in the town. So they've got the opportunity to act as missionaries in a sense. They don't have any ecclesiastical superiors to answer to. They're it. So this is basically an empty house of prayer that you know, and they're still working on it. I've got the scaffolding there. So, you know, people who are pious in the town would actually build their own effigies in this house of prayer to come and pray to it. So, so that's that. So it's empty at the moment. So, in theory, in character, it's still under construction. But the idea behind it was that it's kind of a pantheon where the PCs themselves could have the opportunity to fill it with statues to their own gods and set up little, I guess, religious missions in the town. Okay, now, these two buildings here are just sort of pretty much empty shops. This guy, I figured, would be a general store, and this guy, because we've got hay bales there, it looks sort of a bit farmy and agricultural, so this was going to be the agricultural goods store. Again, where you'd buy your scythes and your sickles and your kamas and those sorts of weapons, but also maybe some other agriculturally things. But again, I just didn't really get around to making those NPCs. Over here, these are the flop houses. Again, again, my son's idea that if it's a frontier town, most of the buildings haven't been built yet, so these are just sort of temporary bunks for the one's for men and one's for women. But yeah, the miners, the farmers, the people who are hoping to come here and make a new life for themselves, they sort of bunk down here. I'll just go into one of them and show you. There's nothing much in here, just bunks really, but again, it's just for theme and flavour, and just to sort of give the town a bit of a believable sort of lived-in feel to it. Taking forever to load it up. I'm going to give a quick sort of run through on the main things in the town. Okay, so look, the NPC, or it's not the NPCs, what are they called? PCs would be probably bunking in here. I figured, or the inn. Actually, I'll show you the inn. Look, the tavern's not really as flashy as I was hoping it was going to be. Again, I was trying to be economical on placeables and sort of trim down a lot of the time I was spending on it. So, but it has some things in it that I thought were cool. Come on, baby, you can do it. Keep going. It's frozen. No, there we go. Okay, cool. These are big maps, by the way. 32 by 32 is like a monster map. To get that all onto one map, I don't know, sometimes my computer has trouble just thinking about everything that's on the map. Here we go. But my computer's useless, so it's not to say that other people will have trouble with it, but look at how slow that is. Come on, baby. Go. Okay, so this is the Dragon's Head Inn. Okay, you mentioned that the town kind of lives in fear of orc attack and dragon attack. So I thought maybe to sort of try and encourage morale, there'd be some dragon-themed kind of things in this tavern. There's a dragon skull hanging over the bar, which I thought was kind of cool. I'm not sure if the sound is coming through there, but there's this kind of a drum beat sort of jukebox there. I was going to have a band playing that, but I thought, I just don't have the, the time or the sort of the I was trying to cut down on the number of NPCs and placeables and stuff, so I just put this gnomish sort of jukebox thing that plays these kind of orcish drum beat bongo sort of drum sounds that I thought would be cool music to tell your orc war stories to. There's rooms upstairs and there's the kitchen. This is basic sort of fare. This is actually the back door. The front door is around facing towards the south gate. So, because I figured a traveller coming into town, cool if the first thing they see is the door to the inn, so they know exactly what to make a beeline to. So that's the thinking with that. Sorry, I won't go into as many buildings because it takes so long to load, and I don't want you to spend all day watching this dodgy video. But I just say again, I wanted to sort of point out some of the main features. Again, the layout of the town, it's a square and it's got a gate on the north, south, east, and west. And the theory was that you could have a gate attack at any of those gates. They're sort of attackable and defendable, so you could have little adventures there. I figured the orcs would attack the north gate more often, so that's the one that looks a bit more beat up and things like that. These are just some houses. There's rooms in there. This one's a double-story fancy house. I figured maybe the lord of the town would live in that one, or maybe some other rich, well-to-do person. It's actually got a chest upstairs which is trapped with golden gems in it, so if anyone's roguey, they could actually break in there and have a go at robbing that. Okay, so this is the way to the mines. Actually, this is, well, in theory, this is actually the west gate, but it faces north. But okay, so this is the west gate. It goes towards the northwest part of the map, where the mines are. Actually, now I wanted to have some chopped down trees on the way to the mines, and there's a sort of a little bit of a story behind that. I figured, okay, so there's a gate, an attackable gate on the four faces of the map, but I wanted to have the map worth exploring the whole thing. So in each of the four corners of the map, there's something worth visiting and worth checking out and exploring. So in the northwest corner, you've got the mines. Again, that's sort of out towards the mountains. You've got a dwarven fellow there who's looking very miney. In there's the forge where they make weapons and armor and that sort of business. So if you're looking for armor and just regular kind of European style weapons, that's where you'd go buy those. I'm not going to go in there, but that's where that is. This bridge over the rubble, that's actually two towers, sort of chopped in half and put together. And I thought, oh, that was kind of groovy. You don't normally see that. That's not. You got to chop and change bits in the tool set to do that. So. And this is a visual effect down the bottom. That's actually water down there, but I've put this visual effect on invisible placeables to make it look like a quarry. So they've been quarrying up the stones to make buildings and that temple that I showed you before. So that's all cool. That's the northwestern corner of the map, and like I said, there's something on each corner of the map. On the southwestern corner, I've got druids, like a druid camp, and I figured the druids are there primarily because they're on a mission to help cleanse the forest of all the spectres and undead critters that are defiling the place, but also to make sure that this new frontier town doesn't, basically rape nature to get itself established. So then I thought that would create conflict as well. So those chopped down trees were kind of just to show that to mine and quarry, they're actually, sort of doing things that druids usually get upset about. So there's conflict between the dwarven miners and the druids, and also the farmer. Now, over here, this is kind of the southeast corner of the map. I've got a farmer. Look, I never got around to making the NPC here, but I figured that this farmer's kind of cranky at the druids because, again, the druids don't want. This part of the map's really stony and really bad for farming, and the farmer wants to slash and burn the forest to the west to make farms, but he's come into conflict with the druids over that issue. So he's all cranky at the druids because he's stuck with this crap land that he can only make a barely profitable farm out here because it's too stony, and he wants to go out west. But now the farmer here has also got conflict with the hill folk up to the northeastern corner of the map. Now the hill folk, look, again, you can keep these or ditch them if you want. They're kind of comical. They're based on this idea that, okay, when you live in the city, you kind of make fun of the people out in the suburbs because they're a bit slow and a bit, less well-to-do. And if you're in the suburbs, you might make fun of the people out the country because they're a bit six-fingered and inbred. And if you're out in the country, you sort of make fun of the people who are further out into the country. And I've got some aunties and cousins who live out in the country, and I made a joke. I said to them, so I guess you guys at the end of the line, you got no one else to make fun of. But they told me that no, there's actually some people who live out in the hills who, their teeth jut out at horrible angles, and their mums and dads are also their aunties and uncles. And so I thought it'd be funny to have these hill folk people out here who are just a bit inbred and a bit, they're sort of generally harmless, but they're kind of troublemakers. Every now and then they might come in and sort of steal a farm girl or a cow or a pig or something, or they're just inbred freaks basically. This tall Jed, he's not a giant, he's just inbred and really tall. This guy's albino, and I was trying to make each one of them have their own funny weird features. This guy's called Fancy because he's got a pair of fancy pants on. But look, again, you can keep these guys or condition. There's no big deal. So these guys live up at the northeastern corner. So each corner of the map has something interesting and worth checking out and exploring, or maybe they could be part of some little mini adventure. The farmer gets the adventurers to go and rescue his farm, his daughter from the hill people or something, or maybe they've just been stealing his cows and he wants to go and rough them up, or or something. But the idea was that each NPC on each of these four corners of the map is in conflict with each other. Like the druids are in conflict with the miners and the farmers, and the farmers are in conflict with the miners and the druids, and so there's there's drama there. Not hostile, kill each other drama, but just soap opera kind of drama. Well, that's pretty much it. Oh, I did forget to mention, in the centre of the town there, you might have noticed the turf houses. They're actually dragon air raid shelters, if you're wondering what they're for. There's two, like one on either side of the stone. Again, just to create that feeling that it's a town that lives under threat of aerial attacks from dragons. Look, if you've got any other questions about the map, or if there's anything else that you'd like to see in there, just let me know. I'm going to keep on touching it up and dealing with it. But what you've got now, it should be usable, so it's ready to go. All right, tough.